In 1988, three major cities of the country, Gyumri, Spitak and Vanadzor, were shaken. The whole country of Armenia was shaken, with Armenians facing the abyss, countless victims, injured and homeless. In the morning of December 7th, Anichka Palyan, like all the other days, was on her way to work. Working as a midwife, she had helped countless mothers to deliver their babies and had witnessed the tears of joy. Little she knew that yet this other normal day was going to be fatal for her and many others. The sudden jolt and the consequent darkness was nothing less than an earthquake, leaving her beneath the ruins of the hospital. Only on the third day, she was unearthed from beneath the rubbles and taken to the hospital in the capital. Afterwards, she was taken to Moscow, where she remained in coma for more than a year. Anichka was able to overcome it and stay alive against all odds. Her journey, nevertheless, was not over. She was then taken to the US to undergo a number of surgeries to get transplants and treatment before she would finally come back home, her sweet city Gyumri, where Anichka was going to have a new apartment and new life. I do not consider myself a disabled. Frankly speaking, when people call me disabled, I ask them how do they know. I tell them, look at my house, there is nothing which can indicate any disability. Anichka's story is not unique. The earthquake left many elderly people, children and adults alone in need with a lot of health-related issues. It was then and there that Mission Armenia, a local NGO, targeted these individuals and started thinking of ways for recuperation. Amongst despair and anguish, Mission Armenia created, implemented and developed a comprehensive system for providing community-based social healthcare services. It became to be rightfully viewed as a system that is unmatched by other alternatives, neither in public nor in social spheres. It enabled the elderly, the disabled people, refugees, temporary shelter holders, and other vulnerable groups to receive a variety of social and healthcare services in their homes and communities tailored to their personal abilities and vital needs. We had a very good core team. Everyone came and joined us selflessly, and with the help of those people we created our organization that aimed at helping and providing decent life to vulnerable groups. At that time, we were engaged in different issues, but then we realized that only elderly people are in difficult conditions. Different people and organizations were helping orphans and refugees, however they didn't pay attention to the elderly. With this profound experience in working with vulnerable and poor groups, in 2013, Mission Armenia implemented the project on strengthening the livelihood and voice of poor and vulnerable people in Armenia. It was funded by the Japanese Social Development Foundation, with support from the World Bank and the government of the Republic of Armenia. The project was aimed at providing necessary living conditions and employment opportunities, as well as necessary social healthcare services to 4,000 disabled and poor people in Yerevan and 5 regions of Armenia, namely Kotayk, Ararat, Lori, Gegharkunik and Shirak. The aim of the project is to promote the employment of disabled people by training them, organizing different trainings and giving them employment opportunities, as well as by providing jobs. The project has 3 components. The first component is designed to organize vocational trainings within competitive specializations for 800 beneficiaries, as well as on-the-job trainings by employers with a further possibility of employment. 5 years ago, the car accident compelled Monique Mkhitaryan to a life in serious health conditions. Today, thanks to the project, the life of Monique has changed. 3 months courses were really very good. I got acquainted with new people, socialized with them. For 5 similarly long years, I didn't leave my home. But now, 3 times a week, I go out and socialize with people. It was a very enjoyable program for me. Various health problems and different preferences. But at the same time, the project gave new hope and new expectations from life for those people who face psychological complexes. The aim of the project on strengthening the livelihood and voice of poor and vulnerable people in Armenia is not only the training of disabled and poor people, but also making them competitive employees on the labor market, hence placing them within real working environments and among employers. In the workshop of Master Arsen, a number of individuals with health problems learned shoemaking, modeling, crafting and repairing. In the Stamper company, the beneficiaries learned printing nuances and how to work with different devices and equipment. The printing work is very hard, but it is extremely interesting. The body language is the most challenging and complicated one. The visually impaired beneficiaries have more developed tactile senses, which helps them better understand the body art. We do not need to be held by hand in the streets. We just need to be shown the direction and we will move forward. Before the earthquake, 48-year-old Arsen worked at an elevator company in Lori region in the town of Spitak. On that day, he was rushing to the workplace as always, but the concussion stopped the time. Through Mission Armenia's help now, Arsen goes out and studies silver processing, takes part in business trainings and slowly recovers from the black and white reality with a heavy burden of a stigma many disabled people carry around. I can participate in the whole process, from the beginning till the end, when you can see the final state of the ring. The beneficiaries who participated in professional trainings and got experience, after taking part in business management trainings, had the chance to write and present their business plans, and the best ones, almost 80 of them, will receive grants. They present their business plans, committee members discuss them, and if needed, ask questions. Finally, they make a decision. The second component of the project, on strengthening the livelihood and voice of poor and vulnerable people in Armenia, intends to meet the vital and multi-sided social healthcare needs of the poor and vulnerable through social healthcare and food services. The soup kitchens, which operate through the project, have a vital importance for the beneficiaries not only in Yerevan but also in some regions of Armenia. The menu of the cafeteria changes every day and is posted on the wall, visible to all the visitors. Today's menu includes Armenian traditional harissa and soup with lentils. The beneficiaries do not only eat here, but also talk to social workers about healthcare and social issues and get appropriate advice. Within the framework of the project, disability resource centers were established, and the infrastructure in public buildings was tailored to the needs of people with disabilities, as well as measures were implemented to create inclusive environment, thus promoting their unrestricted mobility. Within the framework of the third component, the empowerment of beneficiaries with self-advocacy skills was the main objective. The specialists observed the statutory rights of the disabled, and people with special needs discussed the most common problems and obstacles. Today, when the work is complete, the president of Mission Armenia NGO and the representatives of the World Bank carry out regular visits to the multifunctional center for communicating with beneficiaries and witnessing the results of work.
It's a very interesting approach. In fact, here in Armenia, it is the first time that we have gone directly to a civil organization like Mission Armenia. It is unique because the contract is directly with them, and it allows us to show the benefit of working directly with vulnerable groups.
The extensive work would not be done if not funded by the Japanese Social Development Foundation through the World Bank with the support of the government of the Republic of Armenia. Years ago, spontaneously created volunteer movement gave rise to the establishment of a powerful organization. Today, each of them is convinced that he or she is not ignored, and the needs are well tended through an engaging and well-trained team of Mission Armenia.